Riverside is the 12th largest city in California, and it sits about 50 miles from Los Angeles in the Inland Empire. The city is known as the birthplace of the California citrus industry, and it has a storied history over the last century with the famous Mission Inn and multiple large colleges that call the city home. If you're looking to explore Riverside, here are some of my favorite spots in the city. Let me know what I left off in the comments. My first recommendation is Mt Rubidoux. Mt Rubidoux is one of the best, easy hiking areas in the Inland Empire, and it's located right in the heart of Riverside. The mountain can be seen from all over the city, and it rises about 500 feet above it. The mountain is known for the Easter sunrise service that is the longest continuously running outdoor Easter service in the United States. Year-round, it's a great place to take a hike that gives you awesome views over the city, and you'll always see lots of people going up and down. There are multiple paths up the mountain, so if you're looking for an easier or tougher hike, there's options for you as well. My second recommendation is the Mission Inn. The Mission Inn Hotel and Spa in the middle of downtown Riverside has been a popular location for celebrities, presidents, and tourists for over 100 years. Over that time, the hotel has changed dramatically, and it's a fantastic example of the Mission Revival style of architecture. This hotel is a great spot to stay in the city, and just strolling the grounds or eating at one of the restaurants is a fun way to spend a half day in Riverside. During Christmas, they put on the Festival of Lights display, which has been voted one of the best Christmas lights displays in the United States. It's busy during Christmas, but it's pretty hard to beat, and that leads right into our next recommendation, the Festival of Lights. The Festival of Lights has been a city tradition for a few decades now. The center of the display is the Mission Inn Hotel, which hosts the event, but the rest of the city gets in the Christmas spirit as well. You can stroll down the main street, eat at one of the restaurants, visit the shops and vendors, or just enjoy the warm California holiday cheer. It's a popular attraction in Riverside each year, and it's a fun holiday event for sure. My next recommendation is Fairmont Park. Fairmont Park is located right next to Mt Rubidoux, and it's a large city park with 2 ponds, ducks, a walking path, and a children's playground. There's a golf course here as well, and the whole area is a nice spot for a walk in the city. The Santa Ana River Trail goes right by the park, and you'll often see people using it for workouts or an outdoor escape in downtown Riverside. Next up, I recommend checking out Citrus State Park, which is part of the California State Park system. The park highlights the citrus industry and its role in making California what it is today. The park is like an outdoor museum with countless different types of citrus trees on display throughout the park's many short trails. There's also a museum you can see in the middle of the park with exhibits on the history of citrus in Riverside and Southern California as a whole. The park never seems too busy, and it's a great place to walk around and learn about citrus history in Riverside. My next recommendation is the Santa Ana River Trail. The Santa Ana River Trail is a network of bike trails that will eventually go all the way down to the beach. The trail is pretty, and it stays away from the main roads for most of the rides. You can access it from multiple areas in the city, but the most popular are the parks next to Mt Rubidoux. It's a great place for a long or a short bike ride while you're in Riverside. My next recommendation is the UCR Botanical Gardens. The University of California, Riverside is a large school that brings people from all over the globe to the city of Riverside. The school has a great botanical garden in the back of the property that's fun to walk through or to bring the kids to explore. The garden is free to visit, but you do have to pay to park, so know that going in, and the parking lot is pretty small. It's a fun area to explore though, with over 3,500 different plant species to see. Next up is a visit to March Field Air Museum. The March Field Air Museum is an aviation museum right next to the March Air Reserve Base. The museum is situated along the freeway, and it has been open for decades. At the museum there are over 80 planes on display, and it's a lot of fun to walk around and see them all. I'm always surprised by how big some of these planes are when you see them in real life. There are also some indoor exhibits to see as well, and it's a fun half-day adventure for the whole family. My last recommendation before talking about food is the drive-in theaters. Riverside actually has 2 drive-in movie theaters, and if you haven't been to one in a while, they're a great way to spend a night out with the family or friends at the movies. While most drive-in theaters are closing around the United States, these 2 are still holding strong. The one I went to is the Van Buren Drive-In, and there are 3 screens which each play 2 movies every night. You can bring in your own food or grab food from the snack shop and then just tune your radio to the right station and enjoy the movie. My last 3 recommendations are food spots in Riverside. First up is Teos Tacos. Teos Tacos is a pretty eclectic spot in Riverside that's a lot of fun to visit. The restaurant has all sorts of unique and random art with crazy sculptures on display all over the property. It's one of those places where you go back and see something new every time. The restaurant is a blast to explore and it's constantly changing, so you never know what you're going to see when you go there. Plus, they have some good Mexican food to eat while you soak it all in, and it's definitely one of those places that most people will get a kick out of when they visit the city. Food recommendation number 2 is the Riverside Food Lab. The Food Lab is another fun spot in the city for a meal. Supposedly the first food hall in the Inland Empire, it has a dozen different restaurants all operating stalls in the large building. Everything from ramen and Mexican food to coffee and hot chicken is available at the different spots. It can be a little pricey, but it's a fun place for a meal and you'll often see a lot of people congregating there. My last recommendation is the Donut Bar. You guys know I love donuts, and Riverside has one of the locations of the San Diego-based Donut Bar. This shop makes some crazy donuts with options like creme brulee and donuts with Pop-Tarts inside of them. I like the decor with the neon lights and the paintings as well. It's just fun to pop in there and see what they have to offer each time I'm in the city. I thought I was going to end the list there, but I have 2 more spots that I like. First, Simple Simon's, which is a great place for breakfast and lunch in downtown Riverside. And second, Tweed Coffee, which is about 10 minutes north of downtown and has great lattes with homemade syrups. So there you have it, some of my favorite spots in Riverside. Let me know what I left off, and we'll see you on the next video.